So last class, what we have seen over on it, Abdina. So we have seen about what is an end effector. So end effectors, what are the major two types of end effectors? We'll have a grippers and tools. So what is a gripper and what are all the different types of grippers over on it? Okay. So today's class, what we are going to discuss over on it, Abdina, we are going to discuss about a mechanical grippers with two fingers. So first of all, we have to know what is two finger gripper. That is the mechanisms which driving the fingers of this gripper வந்து, which will be optimized to obtain two distinct contact regions. Okay, so this unique feature, what will happen now? It will allows the grippers to pick up objects from the inside, which proves to be useful in a many situations over on it. Okay, where we can go for what are two fingers grippers good for? Okay, so actually they are to be the better because they can grasp a wider range of parts and they can able to handle them with better precision, and similarly under payloads are to be the decent one. Okay, but it will be complicated to use a parallel gripper when we are changing a part of the size or geometries over on it. Okay, and similarly when we are saying about mechanical fingers grippers with the two fingers, so actually we will be having about an pivoting. Okay, so this is the most popular mechanical gripper which is used for industrial robots, which is used for industrial robots. So it can be designed for it can be so to pivot, that is which is turned to rotate or like a hinge, so that will be using over on it. So it can be designed for limited shapes of an object, especially cylindrical workspace over on it. Okay, so the thing, so for example, we can able to have a revenue model maybe more premiums over on it. Okay, so actually so this mechanical grippers with two fingers, so that can be given as in a pivot. So pivot method என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா, which will turns the robot by driving both motors in opposite directions. Okay, but there will be, we'll have other ways to turn the robot, but the pivot வந்து என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, this method results in a perfectly tight turn because the robot's axis of rotations வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, which will be centered between its tools. Okay, and when we are saying about gripper mechanism, so actually it will be the rotary actuator, in which actuator வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா it is placed at the cross point of two fingers. So each finger வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா which is connected to the rotor and the housing of the actuator respectively. So this will be produces grasping and releasing actions over on it. So when we are saying here, if actuators which produces the linear movement, they will be used like a pneumatic piston cylinders. The device contains a pair of slider crank mechanism. So in the slider crank mechanisms, when the piston one is to the show here, it is pushed by pneumatic pressure to the right. The elements in the cranks 2 and 3 it will rotate counterclockwise with the fulcrum F1 and clockwise with the fulcrum F2 respectively. அதாவது when it is less than 180 degree. So these rotations which makes a grasping action at the extended end of the crank elements 2 and 3. Similarly, the releasing actions which can be obtained by moving the piston to the left. So an angle and ranging from 160 to 170 commonly used. So next mechanical grippers with three fingers. So in the case of a mechanical grippers with the three fingers it is using with the 3-point check mechanisms. Okay. So the three finger grippers will be consist of simulate actions of thumb with thumb, index finger, and third finger. So three that is the three fingers we'll be using a thumb, index, and the chunk mechanisms over there. Okay, so இப்போ த்ரீ ஃபிங்கர்ல பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா which is an ideal for advanced manufacturing and robotic research. அதாவது it will adapt to the object shapes for a solid grip so that we can focus on the task and not for the grasping. Okay, so actually இந்த finger grippers எல்லாமே எங்க யூஸ் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா we'll have adaptive grippers. So that is they'll be having the multiple fingers இருக்கும், அதாவது which is made from malleable soft materials இருக்கும். And similarly they are designed for gripping round, irregular, and for the delicate objects over on it. Okay, and when we are saying about three finger adaptive robot வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, so particularly it adapts to the object shape for a solid grips over there. Okay, and when we are saying that So the increase of the number of fingers and the degrees of freedom will greatly aid the versatility of grippers. So the main reason for using the three-finger gripper mechanisms வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா is its capability of grasping the objects in three parts, which enables both a tighter grip and the holding of spherical objects of different size, keeping the center of the object at a specified position. Okay, so particularly the three-finger adaptive gripper வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா which is for advanced manufacturing and robotic research. So it adapts to the object shapes for a solid grip, which enables the users to focus on the task and not the grasping. The adaptive gripper has three articulated fingers, so which have three joints over on it. So gripper weight வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2.3 இருக்கும். Grip force வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 30 to 70 இருக்கும். Gripper opening வந்து will have a 0 to 155 and whereas the case diameter for encompassing வந்து 20 to 155 இருக்கும். ஸோ இதோட அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் எங்க நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஸோ பர்டிகுலர்லி வைட் ரேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் சிலிண்ட்ரிக்கல் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் விச் இஸ் வெரி ஃப்ரம் 20 mm to 150 mm வந்து மெஷின் டெண்டிங் அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ்ல யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். எக்ஸாம்பிள் வி கேன் கோ ஃபார் CNC lathe machines, insertion applications, and even வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா palletizing இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? So this is the major thing. So we'll have a three primary motions of the gripper jaws இருக்கும். Parallel, angular, and toggle. So these operating principles வந்து refer to the motion of the gripper jaws in relation to the gripper body. So this gripper jaws will moves in a parallel motion in relation to the gripper's bodies over on it. Okay. The next classifications வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா we have to see about an internal grippers. So internal grippers வந்து actually in this grippers வந்து the finger pads are mounted on the outside of the finger. So internal gripping அப்படின்னாலே is used when the part geometry will allow and when the process to be performed need access to the outside surface of the part grasp. That is the opening force of the grapper வந்து which is used to hold the part. So this mounting என்ன பண்ணும்னா it allows the parts to fit into the inside diameter of the part, that is must lift. The parts are pressed against the inside walls of the part over on it. The friction force when the developed allows the fingers to hold the part securely when the gripper lifts the parts. Similarly, the contact may be either a two-point contact or captivations or flexible grip with the polyurethane pads over there. And external fridge gripper which is used to design so that the finger pads press against the outside of the component. So it will grip the exterior surface of the object with the closed finger. The pads develop the friction force required to lift the pad. The pads are most of polyurethane bounded to steel. So these grippers are generally of a 4-point contact of B block type. External grippers what I shown over here. So the difference between the internal and external வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா so internal வந்து the fingers pads are mounted on the inside of the fingers. External gripper வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா it is designed so that the finger pads press against the outside of the component. So exterior surface of the grippers வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா we'll have a closed parts வந்து we'll be having over on it. Okay, and so the next one we have to see about an magnetic grippers. So magnetic grippers already I said you that that is they will be provide a safe gripping of ferromagnetic workpieces by using the magnetic field of an integrated permanent magnets or that. Okay, and they use a magnetized surface to grab metal items. So this type of gripper which does not usually incorporate fingers or jaws, so instead relying on smooth magnetic surfaces for handling. So they are common in industries where sheet metal and automotive parts are being moved along an assembly lines. So we'll have two types of magnetic grippers, electromagnetic and permanent magnet grippers. So permanent magnet வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா the magnetic grippers which employs the effect of magnetic field which comes in contact with the ferrous material. So in a magnetic field will be developed by passing constant current through the electromagnet. So this field will causes the molecules of the the ferrous metal in order to align and develop smaller magnetic fields in the part. So these smaller magnetic fields வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா will have a polarity which is opposite to the polarity and the electromagnetic field. So the two poles of opposite polarity will attract each other and it allows the grippers to lift the part. The electric current வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா is turned off after the part has been lifted and placed at the desired place over on it. So when you are saying about the advantage, we'll have a variety of part size. Pickup times are very fast. Variations in part size which can be tolerated. The grippers do not have to be designed for one particular work part and they have the ability to handle metal parts with the holes over there. And it will require only one surface for gripping. So the magnetic gripper will despite in compact size and can sustain enormous holding thing. The disadvantage பார்த்தோம்னா you'll have a slight slippage, more than one sheets will be requiring over on it. Okay, so that we'll be continuing in the next class. Thank you all.